The divorce was going great, until the paperwork said, Mom owns everything. Now she's acting like family matters. So the divorce was clean, quiet, almost too quiet until the paperwork landed. One word flipped everything, Mom. Not my name, not hers. Just, Mom, my mom owns it all. And now, my wife's playing family like it's a game she already won. This wasn't just a split, this was a setup.
Hey, story lover. Welcome to the Narrative Hub, Reddit Stories. Believe me, this adventure gets wild, but it's only epic with you. Seriously, you make this possible. Want more stories? Greater adventure? Smash subscribe right now. Smash like. Comment below. Let's go.
3 months ago, Sylvia and I sat across from each other at Starbucks like civilized adults. No screaming, no lawyers threatening nuclear war, just two people who'd grown apart, dividing up a life we'd built together. The house goes to you, she said, sliding the sugar packet between her fingers. I never liked the neighborhood anyway. Keep the BMW, I countered. I'm more of a truck guy now. We were so mature, so evolved, so completely clueless about what was really happening. The mediation sessions were a breeze. Our lawyers barely had to work. Everything was split down the middle with surgical precision. Sylvia got the condo in Miami. I kept the house in Denver. She took half the business, I kept operational control. Even our friends commented on how healthy our divorce looked. If only I'd known that healthy divorces don't exist when your mother is a retired real estate attorney with trust issues and a photographic memory for grudges. The call came at 3:17 a.m. on a Tuesday. My lawyer, David, sounding like he'd been hit by a truck. Mike, we have a problem. A big one. I was stress-eating cereal straight from the box, finally reading through the settlement papers instead of just signing them like an idiot. What kind of problem? Did you know your mother co-signed on your house when you bought it? My spoon stopped halfway to my mouth. What? No, that's impossible. Sylvia and I bought that house ourselves 5 years ago. Mike, your mother is listed as the primary owner on the deed. Has been since day one. The cereal box slipped from my hands, Lucky Charms scattering across my kitchen floor like confetti at the world's worst party. David, that can't be right. Check again. The silence on his end told me everything. Then, it's not just the house, Mike. The business registration, your car loan, even your savings account from 2019. She's listed as either primary owner or co-signer on everything. I drove to Mom's house in a rage-fueled haze, running every red light between my apartment and her pristine suburban fortress. She was waiting on the porch with iced tea and that smile she used to give me when I got in trouble as a kid. Michael, honey, I was wondering when you'd figure it out. Figure it out? I exploded. Mom, you own my entire life. How is that something to figure out? She gestured to the wicker chairs like we were having a casual chat about the weather. Sit down, sweetheart. Let me explain. No. I want to know why my business, my house, my SAR are all in your name. Her smile never wavered. Because your father left me nothing but debt and broken promises when he died. I swore I'd never let that happen to my children. The casual way she said it made my blood freeze. This wasn't an accident. This was a plan. So you, what? Stole my identity for my own protection. I protected your assets, she corrected, pouring tea like we were discussing the neighborhood book club. When you married Sylvia, I saw the writing on the wall. That girl was trouble from day one. As if summoned by the universe's twisted sense of humor, my phone buzzed. Text from Sylvia. Family dinner Sunday? Your mom invited me. Says we need to discuss the future. I showed Mom the text. Her smile widened. Sylvia's a smart girl. She figured it out about the same time you did. Figured what out? That she can't touch what she doesn't own. And honey, she doesn't own anything. The pieces started falling into place like a demolition in slow motion. Sylvia's sudden friendliness during the divorce. Her insistence that we keep things simple. Her weird questions about my relationship with Mom. She knew, I whispered. Sylvia knew about the ownership thing. Of course she did. Her lawyer isn't stupid. But here's what she didn't know. Mom leaned forward like she was sharing state secrets. I never intended to keep any of it. Sunday dinner arrived like a tornado wrapped in casserole. Sylvia showed up in the dress she wore to our first date, carrying flowers and acting like the past 6 months never happened. Mike, you look great, she beamed, kissing my cheek like we were still married. Mom orchestrated the whole evening like a conductor leading a symphony of dysfunction. Sylvia complimented the pot roast. I glared at my mashed potatoes. Mom watched us both like a hawk studying prey. So, Mom finally said during dessert, I suppose you're both wondering why I called this little meeting. Sylvia's fork froze halfway to her mouth. I stopped pretending to eat entirely. I'm getting old, Mom continued. 73 next month. And I've been thinking about legacy, about family. The word family hung in the air like a threat. I've decided to transfer everything back, she announced casually. The house, the business, all of it. Sylvia's face lit up like Christmas morning. I felt a surge of relief so strong it was almost dizzying. But, Mom added, and the temperature in the room dropped 10 degrees. There are conditions. Condition 1. Michael moves back home for 6 months. What? I nearly choked on my pie. Mom, I'm 34 years old. Condition 2. Sylvia joins us for family dinner every Sunday during those 6 months. Sylvia's smile flickered for just a moment. That sounds lovely, Mrs. Harrison. Condition 3. If at the end of 6 months, you two haven't worked out your differences. Mom paused for dramatic effect. I donate everything to charity and you both start over with nothing. The room went dead silent except for the grandfather clock ticking in the hallway like a time bomb. You're holding our lives hostage, I said slowly. I'm giving you both what you really need, Mom replied. A second chance. Sylvia reached across the table and grabbed my hand. Mike, maybe she's right. Maybe we gave up too easily. I stared at our joined hands and felt the trap closing around us both. Living back home was like being trapped in a time capsule filled with participation trophies and the ghost of every teenage mistake I'd ever made. Mom had converted my old room into a craft space, so I was sleeping on a futon surrounded by scrapbooking supplies and yarn. Sylvia came by every day with some excuse. Forgot something in the garage. Needed to discuss the business transition. Wanted to see how I was adjusting. But I wasn't adjusting. I was planning. Wednesday night, I called David from the backyard while Mom watched Jeopardy. There has to be a way out of this, I whispered into the phone. Mike, legally speaking, your mother owns everything. She can do whatever she wants with it. But the marriage assets were never marriage assets because they were never yours to begin with. I hung up and stared at the stars, wondering if this was what a midlife crisis felt like. It was Sylvia who found the first clue, ironically enough. She was helping Mom organize old photo albums when she came across a manila folder labeled Michael's future. Phase 2. Phase 2, Sylvia asked innocently. Mom's face went white. That's nothing, dear. But Sylvia had already opened it. Her face went from confused to shocked to absolutely furious in about 3 seconds. "Mike!" she screamed from the living room. I found them facing off over the coffee table, the folder contents spread out like evidence at a crime scene. Property deeds, business formations, bank statements, all dating back to when Sylvia and I were still dating. "Your mother," Sylvia said slowly, "has been buying properties in your name since 2018. I grabbed the nearest document, a deed for a rental property in Colorado Springs, purchased 3 months before Sylvia and I got engaged. "Mom, how many properties?" She fidgeted with her wedding ring. 17. 17. Sylvia and I shouted in unison. "I was building you an empire, Michael. A safety net. Your father left us with nothing, and I swore." "You swore you'd control every aspect of my life?" I interrupted. Sylvia was frantically flipping through papers. "Mike, look at this. She's been collecting rent on these properties for years. Where's that money?" Mom's silence was deafening. The account number was written on a sticky note tucked behind a photo of me at my high school graduation. Sylvia and I drove to the bank in her car, both too stunned to speak until we were sitting across from a very nervous bank manager. "Yes, Mrs. Harrison has been making deposits regularly," the manager confirmed. "The current balance is—" He turned his computer screen around. $847,000. I thought Sylvia was going to pass out. I knew I was. That's nearly $1 million, Sylvia whispered. "Your mother has been very diligent in her investments on your behalf," the manager said diplomatically. We drove home in shocked silence. When we pulled into Mom's driveway, she was waiting on the porch again, but this time she looked defeated. "I suppose you found the account," she said quietly. "Mom, why?" I asked. "Why didn't you tell me?" She was crying now, real tears, not the manipulative ones she'd used during my childhood. "Because I was scared you'd leave. Your father promised me forever. Then he died at 47 and left me with nothing but debt and a 6-year-old son. I couldn't watch you make the same mistakes." Sylvia was unusually quiet during dinner. Too quiet. She kept glancing between Mom and me like she was calculating something. It wasn't until we were alone in the kitchen that she finally spoke. "Your mother's been playing us both," she said. "What do you mean?" "Think about it, Mike. The divorce was too easy. She wanted us to split up." I stopped loading the dishwasher. "That's crazy. Mom loves you." "Does she? Or does she love controlling you?" Sylvia pulled out her phone and showed me a text thread I'd never seen before. Messages between her and Mom, dating back months. "Mom, he's not ready for marriage yet, dear. Give him time." Sylvia, "But we've been together for 3 years." "Mom, trust me. I know my son." The messages went on for pages. Mom systematically undermining our relationship while building her financial empire in my name. "She sabotaged our marriage," Sylvia said quietly. "And now she's trying to force us back together because she realizes she went too far." I found Mom in her bedroom, packing a suitcase. "Going somewhere?" I asked from the doorway. Your sister's house in Phoenix. I think it's time I gave you both some space. Mom, we need to talk. She kept folding clothes with military precision. I know what you're going to say, Michael. And you're right. I went too far. You manipulated my entire adult life. I protected you. She finally looked at me, and I saw something I'd never seen before. Genuine fear. Your father was charming and handsome and completely irresponsible with money. He promised me the world and delivered debt collectors and early death. When I saw you falling for Sylvia, you saw me falling for someone who reminded you of Dad. She nodded miserably. I couldn't watch you make the same mistakes. So you made them for me instead. Sylvia found me on the back porch at midnight, staring at the folder of property deeds. Penny for your thoughts? She said, sitting beside me. I keep thinking about what you said, about Mom wanting us to split up. I've been thinking about that too, and I think I was wrong. I looked at her. Wrong how? I think she wanted us to stay together, but she wanted us to choose each other despite her interference, not because of it. It was twisted logic, but it made sense in that uniquely dysfunctional way that family dynamics often do. So what do we do? I asked. Sylvia was quiet for a long moment. I think we take the money and the properties and we start over. Not together, not apart, but as two people who finally understand what we're choosing. And Mom. Your mom gets to learn what it's like to trust her son to make his own decisions. The next morning, Mom was gone. She'd left a note on the kitchen table along with every deed, every bank statement, and every legal document that had my name on it. Michael, I've transferred everything back to you. The properties, the money, all of it. Sylvia was right. I was trying to control your life because I was afraid of losing you the way I lost your father. The irony is that by trying to keep you safe, I nearly lost you anyway. Do whatever makes you happy. Date Sylvia, don't date Sylvia. Sell everything and become a nomad. I don't care anymore. I just want my son back. The account password is your graduation date. Love always, Mom. Yes, there are 18 properties now. I bought another one last week before I came to my senses. 6 months later. Sylvia and I didn't get back together. But we didn't stay divorced either. We exist in some weird liminal space that works for us. Business partners who share Sunday dinners and occasionally share a bed when we're both feeling nostalgic. I kept most of the rental properties and used the income to buy Mom a condo near my sister. She comes to visit once a month and makes passive-aggressive comments about my dating life, which feels wonderfully normal. The divorce papers? Still sitting in a drawer and signed. Some things are more complicated than the law allows for. And sometimes, late at night when I'm reviewing rental applications or fixing a leaky faucet, I think about the twisted gift Mom gave us. She tried to control our love story so completely that she accidentally taught us the most important lesson of all. Real love can't be owned, manipulated, or controlled. It can only be chosen freely and repeatedly, especially when it doesn't make logical sense. The house is quiet now. The papers are signed, the right ones this time. And for the first time in my adult life, I own my own story. Even if it took a divorce, a deception, and a mother's desperate love to get here.